Hey gang, on this video for Chef's Pantry, we're gonna cook Thomas Keller's buttermilk fried chicken from his cookbook Ad Hoc. So I'm gonna go through each of those steps one at a time and show you how to replicate this really good recipe for yourself. All right, let's do it. So we're gonna make a chicken brine. We need 5 lemons cut in half, 12 bay leaves, 1 bunch flat leaf parsley, 1 bunch thyme, a half a cup of honey, 1 head of garlic, a fourth of a cup of black peppercorns, 2 cups of crystal kosher salt, and 2 gallons of water. Once you have all of these ingredients assembled, you will want to take the pot of water and put it on the stove and turn the heat on. While the water's still cold, you want to add all your ingredients and stir those around. Once the water comes up to temp, you'll notice that the salt's beginning to dissolve. Once the salt is completely dissolved, you just want to go ahead and cook the brine for about 15 minutes and then turn the heat off and let it sit and come to room temperature. Once it's room temperature, it'll be ready to brine your chicken. So you'll need to brine 10 pieces of chicken, 4 breast pieces, 2 of which are cut in half, 2 thighs, 2 drumsticks, and 2 wings. Make sure they're clean, and then pour your cool brine right on top and let it sit in the fridge for 10 to 12 hours. For the dry mix, you'll need 6 cups of flour and a few spices from your spice cabinet. You're going to need a fourth of a cup of garlic powder, a fourth of a cup of onion powder, 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon paprika, 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon cayenne, 1 table plus 1 teaspoon kosher salt, and 1 table plus 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Once you have all those ingredients measured out, you can go ahead and add them to the flour and whisk it all together until it's uniform. Once you have it whisked all together, you'll want to separate it into 2 bowls. For our wet ingredients, all you're going to need is a quart of buttermilk, and once you have that poured out into a bowl, you can go ahead and season it with just a small handful of salt, and then just a small handful of pepper, a couple of sprinkles, and then you just want to whisk it together, and that will complete your breading station. So now I have my fry station set up, flour, wet, flour. Once everything's breaded on the 3 stages, it's going to go in this pan. Once your chicken's done brining, you want to rinse all that excess brine off so it's not too salty. And then once you're done rinsing it, you want to dry each piece thoroughly individually, otherwise the batter is going to cake on and it won't fry right. So now you can dip your chicken 1 piece at a time. In the 3-stage breading method, you first start with the dry flour, then you go from dry to wet, and then you can go back to the dry. Make sure all the surfaces of your chicken are evenly coated with all the steps as you go. And then after your 3rd dredge, you can go ahead and transfer the chicken pieces onto your sheet pan and they'll be ready to fry. Yep, you can see all those pieces are evenly dredged and all our chicken is ready to go into the oil. Once I know my chicken's ready, I just go ahead and start adding the oil to the pan, just enough to cover all the chicken. And you want to wait for your oil to come up to about 320 degrees for the dark meat. Once you add your chicken into the pan and it immediately starts to bubble like that, that's a really good sign. And you just have to watch your temperature. Don't let it get too far above or below 320. Remember, we're adding cold chicken to the oil, so it's going to bring down the temperature considerably. You just saw me, I adjusted the temperature on the stove. After about 7 to 10 minutes of turning the chicken every few minutes or so, it's going to be nice and golden brown like this. You can use a thermometer to temp the chicken. Anything above 165 is good to go. And you can see that all the chicken pieces are coming out really nice. Now I'm doing the white meat, and the only point to note there is that the oil is at 340 for the white meat. That's what the recipe suggests, so that's what we did. And it looks really good. Now you can take your nice chicken pieces and arrange them on a plate or a little board, And then if you want to be really true to the recipe, chef wants you to go ahead and garnish it with whole sprigs of thyme and rosemary. and crack some fresh sea salt on top of it, and it's good to go. Thank you for watching our first video. There will be a lot more to come. We'll be doing lots of recipes out of Thomas Keller's Ad Hoc cookbook and learning them all, and hopefully we'll be showing you some things along the way. Take it easy. Have a good day.